Hello everyone, we are Group 8 of English Language Department. The group members including Wan Yichen, Zhu Yunlin, Wei Chenpan, Hao Xinchen, Yuan Haochen. The title of our graduation project is An Analysis of the Personality of Arthur Fleck in Joker Through Criminal Psychology. And our advisor professor is Mingzhen You. My name is Wan Yichen. I'm the presenter of the abstract and chapter 1. This is the table of contents. We divide our project into 5 parts, including the abstract, introduction, literature review, finding and discussion, and conclusion. First, our project intends to apply criminal psychology to analyze the personality of the main character Arthur Fleck in a movie called Joker. The research study will be focusing on Joker's mental transformation through psychology research based on literature review. The thesis is divided into 4 chapters: introduction, literature review, discussion, and conclusion. In the first chapter, I will introduce the basic information about the movie Joker, the background of the study, the content of the study, and the purpose of the study. The movie named Joker is an American psychology thriller directed by Todd Phillips and co-written with Scott Silver. It released in 2019 by DC Comics, and this movie is telling the story of the clown's path to becoming the devil. When Joker in the movie Joker first appeared on the scene, he was portrayed as a psychopath and a super criminal with a distorted and sadistic sense of humor. Joker describing mental illness, social darkness, and social antagonism is extremely inspiring in letting people think of whatever they might come from in their lives in terms of the character Joker's tribulation in the movie and unconcerned attitude towards people. And next, I'm going to talk about the background of the study. What was the catalyst for the crime? The cause of crime is a system made of various criminal variables rather than a single component or simple collection of different factors regardless of degree. The content and structure of the crime cause system differs depending on the time period, scope, and criminals, demonstrating its complexity and diversity. This thesis intends to investigate the elements leading to a crime in the film named Joker. There are numerous aspects that influence Joker's life path in the film, including his innate personality, family, school, social, cultural issues, and so on. And what's the contents of our study? This project is about the social issue and mental illness. We will use the movie Joker to introduce many mental illness and how the disease causes people to commit crime. We study the symptoms of a psychopath, such as how they behave and what reasons that might cause them sick. In the first chapter, we introduce the basic information about the movie Joker and talk about the background of the study. Then we will explain why we intend to do this project. The second chapter will be divided into 7 sections, and they will be used as the foundation of our study to analyze the social and psychological aspects of Joker. And we will explain the definition and theory of the disease, list Joker's mental problems. In chapter 3, we will analyze the whole movie through our own word. We will discuss from Joker's childhood to how his out-of-order behavior affects people in the movie, and use the picture of the scenes in the movie to support the word. And in the end of this chapter is our own opinion of which Arthur Fleck is, a sociopath or a psychopath. And in the last chapter, conclusion, intends to strengthen whatever we have discussed in the previous chapters in order to confirm again whatever we have done in this thesis. And our purpose of study is to apply criminal psychology to analyze the personality of Joker in the movie and emphasize the importance of mental illness problem, such as what kind of mental illness make the Joker commit a crime. And in the end, we intend to discuss our own opinion of which Arthur Fleck is, a sociopath or psychopath.
Literature review. This chapter is based on the material we found online. There will be 7 sections in the chapter to be used as the foundation of our study to analyze the social and psychological aspect of Joker. Adverse childhood experiences are potentially traumatic events that occur in childhood, especially in 0 to 7 years old. Experiencing violence, neglect, or abuse. AC may increase the density of cortisol and cause the hippocampus shrinking, suppress the prefrontal cortex, or even amygdala hijack. A group of specific which has a long term of rigid thought and behavioral disease. Their cognitive function, emotive function, interpersonal relation, and impulse control are different from average person. It divides into 3 parts. They usually use an impulsive and irresponsible way to vent such as hostility and civil violence. They lack moral values, guilt, emotional immaturity, self-centeredness, mind, lack of self-control. 3 causes of ASPD: inheritance, ancestrally, family, and social environment. A mental illness affects how people feel about themselves, how they relate to others, to the job and how they behave, and also is marked by ongoing pattern of varying mood, unstable self-image, and behavior. Frustration aggression hypothesis, a term which was published by J. Dallot in 1939. When the goal that person want to achieve are impaired, their aggressive drive will be stimulated and have an act of aggression. In 1966, A.H. Bus conducted an experiment and found that aggression increased. The tendency to punish others also increased. Aggressive behavior can achieve a causative effect is not necessarily correct. A phenomenon that individuals' original personality characteristics are completely burned when they participate in group. The behavior is less dominated by individuality, but follow the group. 2 reasons to explain. First, the anonymity of group members. Second, the dispersion of roles and responsibilities. Sociopath is often being used to describe person without conscience. Psychopath is often being used to describe person without emotion and kindness. Sociopaths will be not care how others feels, behave in aggressive and impulsive ways, easily to be angry and wrathful, knowing what they are doing and making excuses for their behavior. cannot maintain a regular job and family life, difficult to form emotional attachments. Psychopaths will be superficial charm, high IQ, poor judgment, cannot learn from experience, pathological egocentricity, and incapacity for love, imaged to be cold, heartless, and inhuman being. The seventh section of social and psychological aspect of Joker will be supporting our discussion in the next chapter. Finding and discussion. A short paragraph as introduction. A bad childhood is the worst beginning. Focus on Arthur's childhood being a huge negative impact to him, and how adverse childhood experience impact Arthur's brain and behavior. How one's criminal behavior infects the whole crowd. Discuss why the people went riot after Arthur's behavior. Is Joker in this film a sociopath or psychopath? Give our own opinion discussing. And we will analyze the whole film through our own world, and use a picture of the scene in the movie to support the world. In each main scene that we discuss are the turning point. We hope that the reader will be easy to get the point we are trying to make. Lives out with his mother who has delusional disorder and narcissistic personality. Stepfather abused Arthur and his mother. These two experiences might have been a huge negative impact to his brain. Abused by stepfather. Live out with his mother who has delusional disorder and narcissistic personality. Brain damage. SE. Suppress the prefrontal cortex. Amygdala hijack. Feel more insecure and more hostility. Increase violence behavior. In abnormal psychology to discuss personal disorder, usually we'll look at the fact in protective factors and risk factors. The more protective factors and the less risk factors will be more likely to decrease the possibility to have personal disorder. What is protective factors? It's an event or an activity to prevent people with SE away from having personal disorder. What is risk factors? It's a upside of the protective factors. It means the trauma event or something triggered the people with SE to have personal disorder. Arthur's risk factor. Beat up by a bunch of teenagers for no reason. Scolded by his boss. Betrayed by colleagues. Arthur suffers from a disease called Zuckerberg effect, deprived from brain damage such as head trauma, stroke, and other external factors. A bit started when they cry and laugh, which will make people not realize what they want to express. Nausea and dyspnea. Being weird. Most of people would get away from them.
Hi everyone, my name is Yuan Hao, and I'm the last presenter of this project. And I will continue to talk about a bad childhood is the worst beginning. This is a scene that Arthur meets with an overworked social worker. In this scene, Arthur tears in his eyes from laughing so hard. He is trying to get it under control. Joker laughs loudly without something funny or someone making a joke. The social worker just sits behind her desk, waiting for his laughing to the end. He shakes his head, left pushing a moment, but then it comes on stronger. His eyes are sad. It actually looks like the laughter causes him feel pain. Borderline personality disorder is an illness which marked by ongoing pattern of variant moods, unstable, self-image and behavior. The symptoms often impulsive actions and problem in relationships. The picture shows that Arthur burst out laughing. It is a condition that where Arthur laughed without any reason. Also, he has a neurogenic condition is called pseudoboba effect, which explained as spontaneous and uncontrollable laughter at inappropriate moments. And how one's criminal behavior affects the whole crowd. In the film, Arthur kills three upper class, and why this action can trigger the whole crowd when riot. As we can note, Arthur killed those three young men who are bullying him are not part of the plan, and he didn't think it will bring such impact to the society. The reason why is because the whole background story includes three parts. First, the person he killed are upper class in the society. Second, this city has a huge gap between rich and poor, and news media has been dramatized the whole story. Above the three things combined, those people who have not lived out a good life or suffer from the same situation Arthur has gone through make them join the Joker and protest on the street with their mask on. And in our brain, we have a neuron so-called mirror neuron. It is very special. For example, if we see someone have a bug crawling on their neck, we will find ourselves itchy too. This is how that works. This natural recognition will be triggered by some message. Just like the film, it has triggered those who have suffered in their daily life to join Arthur's side, to against those politicians who only keep saying we are going to help, but in fact doing nothing. In the previous research, found out when a subject watch the same race as themselves, doing something will trigger the mirror neuron more intensely. In other words, our mirror neuron is born to recognize the same race of our own and to mimic the behaviors. Therefore, the crown is full of hatred, and when they saw someone started to slaughter the rich, they will easily root for the side of Joker. And in the film started to have people protesting and harm to the government. Moreover, they started to kill rich person to make the movie comes to its climax. However, beside the recognition mirror neuron bring to the crowd, there are two important factors can discuss: the frustration aggression hypothesis and the individualization. And so, what is frustration aggression hypothesis? In the easiest way to explain is to vent one's anger on somebody who is not to blame. When people feel dissatisfied against government or the rich but they can do nothing of it, in they be infected or attacked by these people. There can be the simple and the best reason to commit a crime. For example, if the police tell everyone on the train to take off their mask, it will cause the result of them punching the police. And what is individualization? It means when everyone is a part of the group, the sense of individual is gone. Therefore, their action won't be any responsibilities to their own, but a diffusion of responsibility. So they think there won't be any consequences of their own behavior. When everyone wears the clown mask, it makes everyone joker so they can do whatever they want. And is Joker in this film a sociopath or psychopath? Because of others' behavior, He suffers from all kinds of unfair treatment, and also he can't obey the law or comply the social norm. Under all kinds, under all kinds of discrimination, he gradually occurs the symptoms of antisocial personality disorder. According to antisocial personality disorder, it would uses two different perspectives to analyze the discuss. And others' emotion is unstable and usually affected by the environment. It would divide it into three parts to analyze. First is emotional aspect. Arthur sometimes mad at people who is close to him with a inadvertent action. He is easily misunderstood and overreacting, which in turn hurts others, whether Thomas Wayne, Marine Franklin, or even his mother. Second is the aspect of interpersonal relationship. There are lots of people who dare not talk with Arthur because of his weird behavior, which is from the pseudoboba effect, at first childhood experience, and so on. Because of those reasons, Arthur can learn how to get along with people. That's why he usually shows the negative sides of his behavior. The last part is the aspect of behavior. Arthur can control his emotional and usually has weird behavior in his daily life. There is a scene that Arthur fits most famous celebrity whose name is Thomas Wayne. He wants to inquire about his birth, but he was humiliated by the housekeepers. Arthur is out of control and chokes housekeeper's neck in a crazy way. All of those behavior from Arthur. It indicates that he is not only break the social order and system, but he probably hurts himself and other people. However, it also indicates that he always be down in any circumstances without pretending himself and shows the real side. From the perspective, perspective of DSM-5. In the movie, we can see when Arthur treats people, he is not good at thinking about the next step. Also, he is a person who acts according to his mood. In the movie, the crowd was inspired by the character Joker and rioted one and another. In the second half, the director presented this scene with a perfect shot. The host, whose name is Murray Franklin, has been using Arthur as a laughing stock on TV, which also caused a more crazy turmoil in society. From those actions, it obviously shows that Arthur neglects the security of himself or others and also lacks of reflection. From above summary, Arthur meets the age limit and has more than three characteristics. He does have antisocial personality disorder. And in our own discussion of how we think of Joker, a sociopath or psychopath, in the film, Arthur wasn't really evil like other Joker movie. He starts out as a good person, but a troubled soul. He believes that his life mission is to bring laughter to the whole world until life wakes him up of that notion. The film time set in a time that is lawlessness, inequality, and corruption. Beside all of that, Arthur suffered all kinds of mental problems. It really makes a man to lose his grip on sanity, but after all, he's still a psychopath. In the end of the story, he finally do something that can make him free to all crazy things that are happening outside the world, but also losing all empathy on anybody. And the last part, conclusion. Based on the analysis of kinds of personality between social aspect and psychological disorder in the main character above, we conclude the result in some points. First is, from social aspect, Joker was abandoned by whole society, disregarded by individuals, and deceived by his co-worker, causing him to lose all faith in humanity. And second is, there were 7 kinds of personality disorder reflected to the Joker as the main character in Joker movie by Todd Phillips. There are adverse childhood experiences, personality disorder theory, antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, frustration, aggression hypothesis, the definition of individuation, and definition of psychopaths and sociopaths. And third is the personality disorder caused the influence on Joker as the main character in Joker movie, which was psychological factors and social aspects. In this project, Joker was found to have a variety of personality disorders. His several personalities had distinct personalities, such as behaviors, actions, and appearance. Joker initially appeared to be a kind, compassionate, and amusing individual, but he still suffered from pseudobulbar effect for many years. This is often caused him being misunderstood by others. However, after receiving bullying, being dismissed from his job as a clown, and knowing that he was an adopted child, he felt discouraged and began living a life as a felon, committing murder and other crimes. He literally exploded with anger and killed several people in an aggressive and brutal manner. He killed his mother, 3 people from Wall Street upper class, an ex-colleague, and a TV show presenter. So Joker became a sign of violence and involuntarily incited the crowd. Especially for those Wall Street upper class, their deaths caused a huge impact to the entire society. Anyone who suffered from the wealth gap or had the same situation as Joker started to protest against the government. They also killed the people of high social status to let off steam. But no one had no need to take responsibility for any crimes, because they all put the clown mask on and pretended as a Joker to do whatever they want. In conclusion, we regarded Joker as a psychopath. Even so he was a good person originally, he still endured by many mental disorders. It always blew out his mind and lose his depersonalization. The only cure for making a meaning of his life was to be himself. It represented that he lost his empathy and had unrestricted to any rules. Through those violent crimes, he still saw his life as a comedy, in contrast to the initial laughter that he was always thirsting for hiding. His laughter was no longer psychological disorder. Instead, it became an emancipation to him after being a real psychopath. And this is our references. and thanks for listening.